Hi. Okay, do I sound like a chipmunk? Oh my goodness. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I remembered the microphone, so hopefully I sound okay. I don't sound like I am an AI, artificial intelligence person, hopefully. Oh, hopefully everything sounds all right and is okay. Happy 2 2 2 2 2 2. Yay, I'm glad. Yay. How is everyone doing? Perfect. Thank you so much. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad. I really didn't want to have to sound like a chipmunk again. Because I'm not one. I'm really excited to share with you guys my first ever tarot deck. Like, ever. Ever, ever, ever. I had, like, you know, those cheap ones in and out. Got rid of them. This one was my first ever big person deck. Hey, Joan, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We have not even started yet, so we're good. We're going to kick it. We will start at the top of the hour with the flip through. So right now we'll just let everyone kind of come on in, vibe a little bit, chat, and then we'll start. I'm a little early because I was just thinking, oh no, sound and all of that with the mic that happened last time. If anything were to have happened again, I would have time to fix it, but yay. So as always, I'm streaming on Twitch simultaneously as YouTube. So if you see me acknowledging someone that's not in your current chat, it's because you probably can't see them in that chat. They're in the other one. So just a forewarning in that situation so you're not super confused. Yeah, Liberius, I've been seeing you doing your art. It's beautiful. You do a really good job. Ooh, Navigators of the Mystic Sea and Tarot of a Moon Garden. Luis, what you mean, nope? Oh, I sound normal. Okay, thank you. I was like, wait, what did I do? Perfect, thank you. I'm so happy. Yay. Yeah, I heard. Hoppin' decks. I probably don't even think you can get those anymore. I don't know. I'd have to check. Or unless they're like super expensive, right? Yeah, some decks I remember seeing and like they're non-existent anymore. This one is really beat up, so no judgment because like I said, I tried to keep it as pristine as possible. I've wrapped, when I first started out, I wrapped it in a scarf. I kept it outside of its packaging. Like, I tried to keep it as pristine as possible. Didn't happen. There's still, it's still a mess. And the packaging is horrendous. There's candle wax all on it and everything. It's just, so no judgment for the state of the deck, but I thought it would be a fun time to share this one with you guys. No, unfortunately, I'm not from the Lollipop Guild, although I would not be opposed to being a part of it. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I bet you anything though that like they'll start reviving the old decks because like there's going to be another revival. Like the 90s, I think right now the 70s and the 90s are like huge in fashion and in home decor and just lifestyle in general. And so I think they'll start reviving a few special editions. I guarantee you that's probably what's going to happen, especially since like more people are getting excited about tarot and witchy stuff in general. I think that I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't have insight knowledge, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's what does happen. Richard, hello. Ooh, good luck. Welcome, Megan. That is so exciting. A cat shop and cafe. Oh my God. I would love to have one of those nearby. I think there's only one that's going to be opened up around me, and that's like an hour away. We are talking about the Golden Tarot. In just a couple minutes, we will be taking a look at this bad boy. Akiko Books published deck. And it's one of the cheaper priced decks too. Yeah, good luck, Richard. That's awesome. You're going to rock it. You're going to get it. It's going to be so awesome. Oh, yeah. Kitty cats. It's so exciting. I love cats. I love animals in general. As most of you know, I have a million of them. Hey, Carla, welcome. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. It's so nice to see everyone. Yes, cuddle up with those babies. Oh my goodness. They're just a gift. All animals are a gift. And then like being able to spend your day with all of the cats just hanging out and wanting snugs. Oh, that's amazing. I wish my dogs would be able to handle having the cats inside, but it just, And then I have the plants, so wild outdoor cats with plants, probably not the best decision. Well used, yes, absolutely. Well used and loved, yeah. It wasn't loved for a while there. It was a cause of frustration for me for quite some time, actually. This deck was a love-hate relationship, and I'll explain why, but I have a special place in my heart for it because it's where, like, there was a bond, and then that bond was even greater because this was a deck that I essentially learned on, and I shared my experiences with family members, and especially my mom and my grandma, who were big supporters of it because they were like, oh cool, like you can do that, free readings. So they were very supportive, which was shocking, but yeah, it holds a very special place in my heart. It's just a very frustrating love-hate relationship with it. The book for the Golden Tarot, it's 64 pages. It's just a flat little color book. If you have seen other Kiko published decks that look like this, it's pretty much the same kind of layout, but there's a lot of spreads in this one. And a lot of really good information. And don't get it twisted. I absolutely love Liz Dean. She actually has written a lot of books on tarot and divination in general, like other divination techniques, and as well as other decks. This is not her first deck, nor do I believe it's going to be her last. I just really enjoy how informative her books, her guidebooks in the decks are, as well as just all of her knowledge in general. I feel like there's a lot of good info with any Liz Dean deck. It's just how you connect with the imagery. And this deck is a pip deck. Some publishing companies drop old titles to make room for new decks. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, because I feel like, I mean, you could always reprint something, right? I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense from a business standpoint. Absolutely. You can always make a bag. Hey, Lunar! Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Oh, she's been around the block for a long time. She's written so many books. She has a few decks under her name. Yeah. Liz Dean. Absolutely. She's very knowledgeable. And little did I know that the deck that I picked out for my first deck would be a very knowledgeable deck. So it was really, like I said, it was a love-hate relationship for me at first. And we'll get into it, but yeah. All right. How about we actually get into it? Yay. All right. I'm going to switch over. We're going to start it. Woo. So this is what we are looking at today. I am so excited because if you have not been here, this is the very first deck that I bought, my first big person deck. And this is beat up. It is very much loved, but this is by Liz Dean, and it is, the art is by, I have to show you in the book because I don't think it's on the packaging, but anyway, it's published by Kiko Books. It used to retail for $18.95. It now retails for $19.99. So I do not know the conversion for UK, so do apologize about that. But here we go. The back says, inspired by the beauty and mystery of the earliest tarot, the Visconti Sforza, the world-renowned imagery of the Rider-Waite deck, the Golden Tarot makes the perfect gift for the dedicated tarot reader or those new to this ancient art. Each of the 78 cards contains an exquisite, specially commissioned painting, while the 64-page illustrated book explains step-by-step how to lay them out for a reading, along with interpretations for upright and reverse cards. With this lavish deck and companion book, you will discover the rich symbols of the tarot and let them illuminate your past, present, and future. So, as most Kiko published books, we have this takeaway here, which shows you a few of the major cards here, which is awesome. So I thought when I was purchasing this, they were all going to be like that. But the minors are pip decks, so they're just the symbols. But what I did was I actually used this deck, or packaging, sorry, to hold my little notebook and my pen to help me with daily readings or notes, and it just stuck right there while I kept the actual cards in a scarf. So that was fun and cute. So before we get into the actual card flip through, let me organize this real fast, get it out of the way. Here's the book, all full color. So awesome. Yay. The illustrations are by Melissa Launay. Launay? Yes. This was originally published in 2008. Goodness sake, Natasha, get it together. 2008. I can't remember the year I purchased it, but I know it was after that. Yeah, it was after that. I know 2013 was a big year for me using this, but other than that, I don't remember what I got it when I got it prior. So in the table of contents here, we actually have 5 spreads, and then it goes into more info about tarot, and then the major and minor. So we have some information about maybe getting started using it, and then how to begin a reading. So we have the 3 card, a question and answer, which was interesting. I worked with that one a lot. The week ahead, I really liked this golden star. I remember doing that quite a few times. When I was first starting out, I did not understand the significator card. I didn't know that you actually had to pick that out yourself. Like, I just thought it would be one that you pulled. Anyway, we live and learn. And then there is the Celtic cross spread, how to know when to expect things with timing and predictions with the cards, and then into the major and minor, which we will look at after we flip through and shuffle. Hey, Fox! Oh no, the title's wrong. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll have to fix that later. Thank you. I thought I had fixed it, but apparently no. I will go in post and deal with it. Thank you. Hey, Megan. Dang it. I always do something wrong with the live stream. All right. Well, anyway, we're going to roll with it. Yay. What else? Oh, goodness sake. All right, here is the back, which I really, really like the back of these cards. Very medieval. This whole deck is super medieval themed. It also has a little bit of a Celtic vibe to it, which I am here for. It is gloss, as you can see, all of the reflections there. And we do have borders, and I tried to put it back how I thought it was when we first bought it. So, I mean, very Rider-Waite-Smith symbolery, very much everything really you need to know for your intuitive hits, just a different style. And the borders here do not bother me at all. I actually really enjoy them. And the only other difference is strength and justice are flopped. So justice is going to be 8 in this deck. I really like this High Priestess too. Okay, can you not get the reflection there? Very, very much medieval. And I like how certain cards, like the Lover's card, and you'll see the Tower card. Let me see if this is blurry. I feel like it's blurry. The Lover's card and the Tower card are very gentle looking. They're not, not the Tower, the Devil, sorry. Very gentle looking, different in a way, but they're still the same vibe and energy to them. I really like this Chariot card. Hey, Islet. This is pretty cool, the contrast of colors. I always liked that. The detail is really pretty in the majors. Right. It's just, there's something about how it's done. I really like them too. How you doing, Rowan? This one's very cool. Shows the different cycles you go through. So like I completely vibed with the majors, did not vibe with the minors. Yay! I'm glad to hear it. I want this hat. This reminds me of, if you guys watched The Witcher on Netflix, Jaskier, I can never say his name. The Bard. One of the best characters in that show. This was an interesting card. It's not scary, it's not intimidating for death, but it's also, I feel, a little barren in a way. Hey, from Japan! Welcome! This one's just beautiful. Right? I adore him too. I just found his character just so lovable. Yeah, I agree. A card of sadness, yeah. And there's the double. So they're fully clothed. But it was interesting how he's up in a tree, and you can definitely see the chains, which is nice for the cards, symbols. Yeah, it's just an interesting double card all around. Louise. Gotta have the signature redhead. I agree. The Temperance card is just beautiful. I actually like the Temperance card over the Star card in this deck a lot more. Speaking of. Yeah, good point, San. I love the clouds. And the Moon card. Scandalous with them in their underwear back in the day? Absolutely. Super scandalous. Do not show an ankle, so how dare you show your undies? Were the people in the Tower Giants, you know? Kind of looks like it. I think it's just for emphasis, to let you know that those were actually people. But I like that oops, sorry, I'm shaking the thing. The two wolves are up there. It's just really pretty. Different style artistically. And this was cute. Sunflowers. Yeah. The moon does look like a portal. The star is kind of dorky. Yeah, I feel like there could have been more done for the star. The Judgment is pretty too. Medieval tapestry. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really like the colors. It's not bland like some medieval type decks can be, or like I'm never going to say it right, the Marseille tarot, you know what I'm trying to talk about. The other kind of medieval deck, correct me, please, because my words aren't coming out. But those can kind of run together, get muddy, but these don't. Oh, that's cool. I love all Arthurian decks. I want more. This I love. I love the Ace of Cups here. So then you'll notice it's just going to be symbols. So this was where my frustration came in when I was learning on this deck. It was so hard. So hard. And I would get frustrated because I was getting all of the suits confused because they all were similar to this. There's nothing different in the background, so I'm going to go really kind of quickly. There was nothing really to differentiate them, and there wasn't really anything going on within the symbols themselves to like kind of symbolize anything. So it was very frustrating to try to pick up on any intuitive hitting. Any kind of memorization was gone out the window when it came to all of this. And so that's where the frustration came. If I wasn't just like, I was fine learning the major, but then when it came to the minor, I was like, this is frustrating as hell. I ain't going to do it. And this is where I would legitimately give up. I would get so frustrated with myself that I would give up. Absolutely. They're so hard to learn with. And so that's where my love-hate relationship came in. It is a gorgeous deck, but learning with it, not fun. However, the guidebook is fantastic for a beginner. It's just enough info to where you can understand what's going on, but the problem therein lies with if you're reading for other people and trying to get off book, so to speak, it's very difficult, and it's easy to fluster yourself and get in your head about it. So I do not recommend a pip style deck for learning. However, if you are called to it, by all means, go for it. It wouldn't be my suggestion or my first suggestion, but if the artwork calls to you, then that means that you will want to work with it. Like, it's calling to you for a reason, but it just may be a little bit harder for you to learn on. And so that is the caveat. Yeah, Rider Waite for a first deck, yeah. They are a turnoff, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Tricerantops? Yeah. And that's why I love doing these videos, because you can actually get a feel for what the deck is. Because, like I said, when this was out and this was my first deck, I thought, nothing of, I had no idea that this is how it was going to be, right? When I opened up the deck, I had no idea. So, it's really good to like get a feel for a deck before you purchase it, because it's not like you can return it. I mean, I don't know if you can now, but we couldn't back in the day. If it was opened, you couldn't return it. Kind of like a CD or a DVD. What are those? Try? Okay, perfect. Aaron, okay. Try or Aaron. Perfect. Thank you. I was struggling. Started learning with Rider Waite Smith, then Toth, and finally Okay, how do you say it? Marseille or I always want to say Marseille. And then I know so many people have corrected me and taught me, but listen, it did not stick. So Where's the blockbuster for tarot decks? Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there are no clues at all with the pips. Absolutely none. Marseille. Marseille. That. Yeah, it's either Marseille or Marseille. Listen, you all know what I'm talking about, so that's all that matters. Marseille. Okay. I just think the art is so cool, and there could have been so much more done with the pip decks. But I feel like that's a thing with the Kiko book publishing as well. The another way to kind of keep it financially accessible for everybody, to keep it in a lower price, is to kind of just do this for the minors. I'm getting that that's the vibe. However, I'm no expert. I don't know how publishing works. But with all of the other Kiko decks, this is pretty much how it is. However, some of them are really great with using the swords, for example, in a, like for 5, it could have been like battling each other, like crossing different ways. You know what I mean? To where it can give you an indication of what it means. Or like throw in another symbol there. So 6 of Swords, like movement of some sort, or, you know, a boat, I don't know, in the background. Yeah, before committing, yeah. And you know, decks aren't cheap. I mean, the cheap ones are cheap for a reason. So like the $5 ones, right? Um, but at the same time, like a good one, like this is a decently priced deck. Especially for the information that you get. So, you know, $19-20, let's say that's your starting point for most decks, and then it only goes up from there. So, you know, most people, that's a luxury to be spending on something that's not a necessity per se. You know what I mean? So especially then when you start looking at the $40 decks, and then you have the $80 decks that just are super expensive, you want to know that you're going to connect with it. You want to know that you're going to love it, because otherwise that's a cost, you know, that's food on your table, you know? So, that's why I really enjoy doing these videos, because there wasn't this when I started out. There wasn't a way for me to know unless somebody I knew recommended me something, which that wasn't the case either, because I came from the time of nobody did this or nobody spoke about it because it was wrong, right? It was more taboo than anything. Technically, they are traditionally correct, just with the more modern way of depicting things better. They are to describe better. Yeah. I have several decks collecting dust. Why would some prefer to work with pips? You know, some people like using the numerology aspect of it. It kind of helps with their, just like everybody vibes differently with learning. Some people gravitate toward a deck like this because it's their way of using their intuition. It's their way of picking up information, because a lot of it is used with straight numerology. So what would a 1 symbolize? It's the beginning. What would a 2 symbolize? It's feminine energy. It's a union, that sort of a thing. So then you couple that with the suit. So with wands, what is a new beginning of inspiration, right? So if you look at it in terms of learning it that way, then it becomes a lot easier. However, if you are used to the Rider-Waite-Smith style, then it becomes confusing if you're learning it that way. Because there's, depending on the guidebook that you get with it, it might not go over that. It just might be saying, oh, it just means inspiration. It just means new beginnings. So then you're trying to figure out, you know, okay, where does the symbol come in with it? You know what I mean? So it depends on how you learn and what you start out with, and then how well the information you have that goes along with it correlates to you. So just like everybody learns differently, there's different decks for different readers. Hey, Star. Hey, Charlize. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, and I love the Oceanic Tarot. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I feel like it's just such a good vibed deck out. Like, I don't know how to describe it. But also, like, I'm very connected with with mermaids and the sea. So, like, I'm going to vibe with most mermaid sea-themed decks. And yeah, they definitely have the keywords there to help you. So it definitely makes it easier. I'm going to have to check out the Llewellyn Tarot. Hey, Alyssa. Ella, it's okay. No worries. Alette. Can't speak today, but what else is new? Do I have a favorite deck? I will always gravitate to my Everyday Witch Tarot, because that's the deck that I bought after this one. And that's the one that kind of rekindled my love for tarot, because this deck, learning on it had not been fun, and it was frustrating. I would split the deck. I wouldn't even deal with the minors. I would just deal with the majors, which is okay when you're learning, but you leave out so much more to be discovered about your reading when you leave out the minors, right? Oh, yeah. You need the symbols, you need the pictures. Yeah. Absolutely. See, you learn different. Hello, Van. How are you? You know, some YouTube might be on its BS again. Make sure that when you have sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe people and they will turn off the notification setting. So make sure on the web page, if you're doing it from the computer or on your phone, on the app, that right next to the subscribe, you see the little notification bell. Click on that to see whether or not you have the notifications on. If you set it on all notifications, you'll get everything. But sometimes just, yeah, they're on their BS. So always double check if you have not been getting the notifications from me. And then make sure that whenever you do a video too, that you like it or watch it. I'm literally telling you how to do a YouTube video, so I'm sorry, I apologize. But that's the way to kind of have YouTube recommend you and alert you this channel. So like if you haven't watched me in a month, it won't push it out to the algorithm for you. It'll push the things that you've been watching or the topics that you've been watching more. So just trying to learn this algorithm is fun. So just make sure all of the notifications are on, that you're subscribed, and then you should hopefully start getting the alerts. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Mercury retrograde. It's on its last night. So tomorrow will be the last day. No, is it the 4th? It might be the 4th. That's the last day. I get it confused all the time. And then different time zones. But Mercury retrograde is almost over. So thank God tech can finally move forward for me. Oh my gosh. Danielle Noel is like, she has my heart. Hey, Sharon. Yeah, so I messed up the title because it saves the title and the description from the last live in this program. And so I thought I redid it all. I must have hit a weird button. Again, Mercury retrograde, right? So, yeah, I'm going to have to change it in post. So I do apologize with that. But I can't switch it now. Yeah, there is another Golden Tarot by a different author. Yeah. I do not have the Tempest Tarot. Okay, I gotta start writing these down now real fast before we shuffle, because I'm gonna forget again. So we have the Llewellyn Tarot. And then we have Tempest Tarot. Oh, right. Like, it's one thing after another. Oh, that's awesome. Do you have, Rowan, do you have a lot of Mercury in your chart? In your astro chart? Because you might vibe with it. It might help you. It might. Why am I talking about this to you? You probably know this already. But if you vibe better creatively with Mercury during Mercury retrograde, then that's probably a good sign. I have Mercury, I can't even remember where I have it in my chart, but Mercury retrograde doesn't usually personally affect me that much unless it's technology. And tech, that's when I have an issue. But communicating, I'm always going to have an awful time communicating. That's just who I am. You're laughing hysterically while driving. You know, that's okay though. That's okay. Sometimes we need a really good laugh. Oh, that's interesting, Joan. So my husband, he works at a card room. He's a card dealer. And so it's interesting to see the superstitions that take place. So it's really cool. I'll have to ask if he has any people that come back during the retrograde to see that opinion. Oh, I do review high index. Threads of Fate. I know Threads of Fate. They have a lot of different versions of the same deck. I need to actually purchase one of them. I think it's called the Weaver Tarot, the Weaver's Tarot. But absolutely, I'll put it on the list. I think it is already on the list. But yeah, the higher end decks, they take me a minute to purchase because your girl isn't flushed with cash, so to speak. So they take me a longer time to get to. But I definitely do higher end decks, yes. The Gentle Tarot... No, I'll have to see. Gentle Tarot. Guys, there are so many different decks out there that I don't know them all. I cannot keep track. So this is why I love that Google Doc. In the description box, you guys can request, and I have to approve it for you to request it. But you guys can add in. I'll add all of these tonight. But that way you guys, if there's a deck that you want to see, add it on there and I'll get to it when I can get to it. And then that way we'll just keep that list going, because what you guys want to see, I want to bring you. Oh, Luis, you have Girl Scout cookies? Ours came too, and we bought how many boxes? 5? I think we bought 5 boxes. Because our niece does it. And so, gotta support him. So I'm just nonstop. I already went through a whole box. And then some. It's ridiculous. Oh, they have a newer one. Okay, I see. Okay, because what I was thinking of is they're like different editions with the different backgrounds. So like there's a rose gold background or there's like a, black background. I was thinking that. I didn't know it was a completely new version, like a new on its own. That's cool. Okay, I'll look into that. Cool. Okay. All right, let's shuffle this bad boy. As you can see, it's been shuffled quite a lot of times here. It is a longer deck, so that can get a little frustrating sometimes for those of us with smaller hands. The cardstock is thin. It's a glossy coating, but it is thin. So it will fold, it will crease, but again, it's $20. So you got to kind of take the good with the bad when it comes to the price points too. So it shuffles just fine. I don't have an issue with it, obviously. And then we will shuffle the other way. And those of us with smaller hands, you can take it and do it this way too, because it is very flexible. So if that's your jam, taking it on the side-to-side basis like that, totally able to do that too. And it glides just fine. I don't have an issue with it at all. So can I get a tarot card to read, please? Well, just give me the whole deck then. That's cool. All right, we're going to do Queen of Pence. So as a reminder, that's how she looks. Love the dress colors. Good night, San. Have a great night. Small hand. Yeah. I have stubby small hands. Like they're stubby, but I also have fibro and issues with hypermobility. So like trying to get the bigger size decks shuffled, I'm like, this is a feat that I cannot accomplish. Okay, so we are going to go all the way back. Queen of Pence. So as you can see, it's smaller here. I'll show you a major card in the book as well, so you can kind of get the feel for how it will all work. So we have upright meaning, and there's one keyword there. So generosity. A respected business person, this queen may also be your financial angel. Generous, wise, and very grounded in her attitudes. Others love her joie de vivre and willingness to support those closest to her. She brings stability, gifts, and protection, and predicts a happy time ahead, both materially and emotionally. And then we have the reversed meaning, so miserliness. Money rules the reverse queen. Often miserly, the way she withholds money from others reveals her deep insecurities and lack of trust. Occasionally, she may be extravagant and tasteless. As a situation, this may be a time for a thrift, or you may need to avoid someone with money issues. So there's like just enough information to kind of get you by throughout that. But let's take a look at a major. Let's find one here real fast. Okay, we got the Hangman. All right. So the Hangman looks like this. Jaskier. That is forever your name, Hangman. I do not apologize. All right, so you can see here a lot more information in the major card. So we have a bunch of keywords. So we have waiting, salvation, a change of perspective. The associated planet or sign would be Neptune. And then it describes the card. So a young man is suspended from a tree. He is happy and safe in the knowledge that he is bound fast. In Norse myth, the tree is, and I'm not going to say it right, Yggdrasil, the world ash, the tree from which Odin was suspended for 9 nights, after which was given the wisdom of the runes and the gift of prophecy. Upright meaning time out. An opportunity to step back from a situation gives fresh insight and perspective. This altered state may mean making a sacrifice, such as giving up a belief or perhaps letting go of a dream. This card, as this card literally shows, you may need to hang around a while waiting for someone else to make a decision. In this case, there is little you can do but wait. Analyze the situation with detachment, and you may see new opportunities from a distance. Rather than obsess about an outcome you are powerless to change. And then we have the reverse meaning. Betrayal, often of the self. You may shy away from making a life decision or life-changing decision because it means initial discomfort or expense, and even yearn to return to the life you had as a dependent child. It is time to wake up from the reverie and confront whatever it is causing anxiety. So, as you can see, a lot more information in the major than the minors, but here's the thing too. There's just enough to where you can kind of get by and learn. However, it's frustrating, right? The Tower? Yeah, I can read the Tower. That's cool, Rowan. Hey, Ashley! How's it going? Riding the Mercury Dragon. Oh my goodness. Yggdrasil. Thank you. See, look. Cannot pronounce anything unless it is like sounded out. All right, let's read for the Tower. Let me find it here real fast so we can get a good look at it again. I use self-deprecating humor when I am uncomfortable about my flaws. I need to stop it, I know. I am a work in progress, always. There we go. Tower. That's what it looks like. Oh, I'm sorry, Ashley. Yeah, it's just one of those days. It's like there's a lot of energy in the air, and I feel like those that aren't in tune to it kind of don't know what to do about it. It's kind of like you need to either ground yourself or it's going to be crazy. Today is a fantastic, fantastic day to start those manifestation intentions. So if you haven't done so already, after this live, you should do so. All right. The Tower. So we've got disaster, surrender, sudden endings, and egotism. And the planet or sign is Mars. A tower, struck by lightning, burns while the occupants fall. This disaster is an act of God which nothing can prevent. We can only give in to the force of nature, and no matter how protected we may be, everything may be lost in an instant. So, upright meaning, shock, loss, and insecurity. The collapse of an ideal or a relationship. The Tower is a construction of hope and ambition, which is destroyed by the primal energy of fire. This disaster also symbolizes the tower of ego or pride before a fall. What you have fabricated falls down, and there is little you can do to avoid the situation or repair it. Yet you can begin again and be all the stronger for it. Reverse meaning, unavoidable disaster. Your worst fears are realized as a relationship, business venture, or home project collapses, and you know that you may be partly to blame. However, after anger at the sense of injustice comes guilt, and finally, a sense of relief. A struggle ends. So that is the Tower. A little bit darker version of the Tower than some of the more modern cards here. Absolutely, Liberius. Hey, Gina! Welcome, welcome! If you're not a work in progress, there's probably a problem, so I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. Absolutely. That's a very good point. I think, yeah, we're all works in progress, whether we realize it or not. And if you're not always learning something, then you're stagnant and you're stuck, right? I use self-deprecating humor on myself as well. I don't know. It's kind of comforting in a sense. Yeah, to me it is, because like how I grew up, it's kind of like a rousing way. You kind of like tease, and that we teased in our household, and it was a loving thing. It was never, a horrible thing to tease each other for things, but like it's also a very internalized thing for me too. Like, the things that I'm insecure about, like I have to joke about them, otherwise I have to like deal with it in the moment, or like, kind of like mirror myself, and I like don't want to deal with it. But like as I get older, the more self-deprecating I'm like, I can back off of myself a little bit, because sometimes that turns into like negative thought patterns. So I've tried not to be so self-deprecating, because I used to be really bad, like really like this is bad. So I have learned to be like, okay, be a little bit kinder to yourself. Like it's not that funny when you go that hard. So yeah, a little self-deprecating is fantastic, but when you go hard on yourself, that turns into some negative thought patterns, and that's what we don't want. We don't want self-hatred. I love using self-deprecating humor. I also have a very dark sense of humor. It surprises people. Well, you are a redhead, Rowan. But yeah, like I have no problem with a dark sense of humor at all. Like I guess I should say there's a caveat to that, right? Like you don't want it to be terribly horrific humor, because some people say dark humor and some people say dark humor, and they're two completely different things. But yeah, I love British humor, like very dry, very like, matter of fact and to the point, and that sort of kind of humor. And yeah, I joke about things that probably shouldn't be joked about, because that's kind of how I deal with the world. Hey, Easel. Oh, your cat's like, yeah, I like this spot. This is good. This is mine now. It's like, you can't use this today, Mom. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what do you guys think about this? And, you go hard if you want to go hard on it. Don't, be honest. Or don't if you don't want to. You know what I mean. Because, words, Natasha, you can speak them. I've heard you speak words before coherently. So let me know what you think about this. Would you have wanted this to be your first deck, and why? And then would you want to purchase it now where you are in your practice? What do you guys think? Because yeah, I always love hearing your guys' opinions about decks, because everybody is so vastly different about what they like, and the reasons why. So it's very, very cool to be able to have discussions in the comments and like see your guys' like opinions about everything. And like the decks that I thought like maybe nobody would like, you guys love, or the decks that I thought everybody would absolutely go ham for, no. So it was like interesting. The majors are really cool art style. The pips are let down. Yeah, I agree. I feel like there was so much potential, but yeah, like I feel like maybe they were told, that they couldn't do it that way, or they had to cut it for, specific funding, or I don't know. There's probably a bunch of reasons why. I don't always think that pips are lazy. I think that there are ways that they can be done correctly. But also I feel like this is, it is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith. However, it's also very much a Marseille kind of deck as well too. So, I mean, I feel like it fits like right in between those two pretty well. If I was just starting, I wouldn't go for it because of the pips, but right now, after learning and loving Marseille as a system, I would consider this deck. Right? Like, I feel like it is like a niche type of deck, Like, the art is really cool. I really love the majors. I feel like there's a story in each card. And then, yeah, the pips, if you know now enough information to get you by, then I think it would be a great deck, especially the price point. There's enough information in the guidebook to get you by, to get you started. And again, always have another companion book with you if you're starting out to kind of give you more insight as well. There is a little bug flying around this room, and I swear, not my style. Don't know for sure that I would purchase it back when I first started. The pips are meh. Nothing exciting. Yeah. Plus points for the vintage look. I love the medieval style. Yeah, I do too. And that, I can't remember the different decks that were available, because when I went to purchase one, I went to Barnes and Noble, and they had a couple different decks and this one. And I remember kind of being not sure about what I wanted. And I was not aware of like the difference between tarot and oracle and all of that. I was a baby. And so I just was like, okay, I want something that says tarot. And I wanted something that had an older feel to it. I wanted something that like didn't feel brand new at all. And so this one was the one that I ultimately went with, and I can't remember the ones that I was trying to choose between. But price point as well was a big factor for me too. I didn't want to spend $40 on something that I didn't know I was going to like. And so when I saw that this one at the time was $18.95, I was like, okay, that's a risk I'm willing to take. But like the $40 ones and up, I was like, the art may be pretty, but I'm not willing to risk it, because at the time too, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be, loving doing tarot at all. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at it. I don't know if this is a long-term thing. So I don't want to invest so much money if I didn't like it. So that was another reason why I chose this one too. This music sounds like Halloween. Okay, although I like the art and the colors, I feel like I find myself drawn to the more modern takes of the Rider-Waite. I understand completely. Hello, Sarah Nutt. Welcome. Welcome. They are typically more inclusive. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing with this too, is like the more medieval style, you're not going to find inclusivity with it, unfortunately. But it was based around that time period. However, there is an argument to be made that if you're doing a medieval based deck, you can include different colors of skin, because it wasn't like they weren't around. So it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. You can get a reading, hun. We haven't gotten there yet, but you will be the first one since you asked first, Sarah Nutt. But yeah, the more modern decks are definitely more inclusive. Not as inclusive as they could be. But yeah, they are inclusive. Let's see. Undecided. I love the art style, even the style of the pips, but the pips are too similar. And that was the frustration. Yeah. Really like the backs, but I also like more modern. Call you Ren? Cool. I'll call you Ren. We're streaming both simultaneously on Twitch and YouTube. So again, if you're not seeing the people that I'm talking to in the chat, that's why. Don't want to confuse anybody. Let's see. I agree. It's definitely a niche deck that won't hurt the bank. Yeah, exactly. Really like the backs, but I also like more modern. Yeah. It's like medieval art meets folk art. Yeah, absolutely, Joan. I'm an oracle deck sort of person. Tarot has its place, as well as develop system and learn to expand my knowledge and learn that it has so many levels that we don't look into it. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny the difference when like somebody who started out with an oracle deck and moving into tarot, or somebody who started out with just tarot and didn't know or didn't dive into oracle, the learning differences, and then some of the frustrations that come along with that as well. Because, if you're coming from an oracle perspective, it's like there wasn't really a specific structure. It was more of like, okay, well, this particular deck works this way. And then you move on to the next oracle deck and that system is different. And then when you move to tarot, it is a specific structured system that you kind of have to work in the confines of. So going through it that way, there's those learning curves that are really hard to kind of flip-flop. The fleur-de-lis on the back, yeah. It's pretty. International Icons deck. Do you have an International Icons deck? Is that a specific deck or is that a type of deck? Because I don't think I do. I'll write it down though. All right. So I like tarot and I'm afraid to get an oracle deck because I feel like I won't know what to do with an oracle. Oh, if you go from tarot to oracle, it's super easy because it's literally like you take the guidebook and you're like, okay, what is this about? Cool. All right. And then oracle is pretty much, you can, how do I want to say this? Most oracle decks, you can kind of use however you want, right? There's not like a strict structure base. So you can kind of just use it however you kind of see fit. The meanings are a little bit more open-ended than tarot. And then it's like each oracle deck has its specific vibe and there's specific cards to it. So like if you have two different animal decks, one animal, the same animal in each deck. So say you have a bear in each deck. The cards might mean different things in that system of the oracle. But if you have a tarot card, two tarot decks, so you have one strength card for each of them, they mean the same thing. So that's kind of the difference there. So it's totally easy to dive into the different systems. It just takes a little bit of a learning curve. Ooh, cool. Are there any decks that have been on your radar? There are so many. There are so many decks that have been on my radar. Are you kidding me with that, Ashley? I can't wait for a few of them. I'm still waiting on the Alice in Wonderland from Minerva Siegel. Siegel. I'm excited for that to come out. Hopefully the end of this month. But the newest ones on the radar. So, off the top of my head, I'm excited for the Beltane Seasons of the Witch. There's the Rebecca Campbell's Rose Oracle, I believe, that was coming out. There's a whole bunch of decks that I have written down or like listed in the Amazon wish list that I completely forgot. Oh, there's also a grunge tarot that's already out that looked really cool. There's because I lived through that phase, so like I'm all about it. There's so many and I can't even like tell you, but yeah, those are a couple that have been on my mind. Have you worked with decks with no numbers, keywords, or guidebooks, such as the Soul deck? I'm curious if your intuition would pick up different vibes from the same card. Actually, no, I haven't. I have not. Okay, so that Poke Tarot Liberius, that's been on my radar for quite some time, but like nobody has like ever asked about it or requested it. So I was kind of like, I won't purchase it yet because nobody requested it because it was a little bit on the pricier side. and I didn't think anybody would like want to look at it, I guess, in the subscriber base, because nobody really talks about Pokemon. So I was like, I'll hold off until somebody requests it. But it looks so cool. I'm glad you get a enjoyment out of it. Oh yeah, she has literally been pumping out those decks, Minerva. Yeah. I'm so excited. There's the Hocus Pocus one coming in July, I believe. So I pre-ordered that already. Your girls got it. Oh yeah, the Forhox. I love that deck so much. It's stunning. It is so worth it. Enjoy that, Gina. Okay, if you guys are wanting to see the Grunge Tarot, I will order it. But again, yeah, some of these things I'm just waiting on because I'm like, I don't know if you guys want to like check it out or not. I have the Sacred Hags Oracle with me. I've got to do a video on it. And then what else? Oh, it should be coming tonight. The Mystic Mondays, the new creature oracle. I can't remember what it's called, but that's on its way. Ooh, the D&D tarot, yes. I'm also excited about Minerva's plant tarot, house plant tarot, and the horror tarot. Yay! Okay. How did I get into tarot reading? In different ways, I guess. I guess the short answer was I always was drawn to it. And then I knew people that were involved in it, and they kind of got me into it. And it just spun off from there. But yeah, that's the short answer. But this was actually my first deck that I started learning on. So that's why it is a very special deck. So, Ren, let's go ahead and get you a card. Hey, Jan. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords. Ooh. Okay, so two things might be happening for you. You might be getting some good news here soon. But this is also what I'm getting more pulled toward is like your curiosity. So I feel like you're going to start diving into more things that interest you, such as new hobbies, learning new things, trying to kind of just dive into new subjects that you're interested in. This is kind of like a young energy, kind of like a student vibe, student kind of energy. So I feel like it's very much you using your curiosity to kind of just take everything in. But it could be that you're getting some good news too, since pages are messengers. Let me see if I can get a second card to see if there's... Got two. Yeah, so we got some waiting to move forward. Like everything's there, the want to move forward. You have the inspiration to move forward. It's just keeping yourself in this little environment, I'll say. So maybe this is the step that you need to find what lights you up. So learning new things, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit, and then finding what makes you happy. But the Sun card is super positive. It's like one of the best cards to ever receive. It's just happiness, healthiness, vitality. It's just very much a beautiful thing to see. So I think once you kind of get out of your comfort zone, taking that little step forward, kind of, usually when you see the Two of Wands, they're kind of like having the world in their hand, and they're kind of looking out, and they're kind of like not sure if they want to move forward. But this is, you know, this is also the number 2, so it's unity, it's togetherness, it's also maybe finding somebody else that you can learn from. So hopefully all of this resonates with you, but I feel like you're going to be learning a lot more. I feel like you're going to be learning things that maybe you haven't discovered before, maybe you haven't thought of before, and this will help kind of get you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but it's also going to provide you a lot of happiness, provide you a lot of comfort. So hopefully that resonated with you. If you guys want a reading, a quick little card pull, I am down for a little bit. I don't want to be on here for another whole hour. But I am willing to give you some guidance from the cards if you should want to. Oh, good. I'm glad that resonated with you. How do we get on the list for reading? That is the question. So I don't have any like key things for for this stream yet. I can set it up for Twitch. I just have to learn how to do it. I don't know if it will transcend to YouTube. So if you want, just put your just let chat know, say like, oh, can I have a reading or whatever for right now? And then Rowan is fantastic. She's our mod. She'll make a list. If not, if I don't see it, she'll, spam me. So, you just have to put your name in the chat that you want a reading. And, if I don't see it, she will, and then we'll keep the list going. Usually I write it down too. So that way nobody, gets ahead of each other. Mystical medleys. Yes. Ooh, interesting. Rowan is the list queen. Yes. Okay, so collective. Cool. All right, reading for the collective. Okay, we want to definitely all come out tonight. Okay, anything else? All right, yeah. Okay. So, there is a feeling of lack, a feeling of worry about a couple things. As a collective, so this is not one person, this is us as a whole. The feeling of lack and the feeling of being left out. So Five of Pentacles usually talks about worry, about loss, that sort of a thing. But we also have the Six of Wands and then the Nine of Wands. So the Six of Wands is all about success, victory after conflict. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel here coming. It's just, we have to switch our mindset, right? We have to put ourselves in the situation and the thought process of we already have the success. We already have what we need, because having a lack mindset will only bring you more lack. So negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. It's all energy. It's all connected, right? So the Six of Wands is very much like, we've got this. We're going to be okay. Don't worry. Because this Nine of Wands right next to it is also about perseverance. So not giving up, just keep going. That saying of getting back up on the horse, that's what that is. So it's very much, don't let the negative intrusive thoughts come in. Don't, keep that negative mindset. This is all about moving forward. Yes, we all struggle. Yes, we have hard times. Yes, we can all struggle together at this point, because we all are struggling in one way or the other. Some much more than others. But as a collective, we are coming from this lack struggle, and we are moving forward and turning it into something positive. We have the Nine of Cups here, so we are open to receiving. We are open to putting ourselves out there again. We are open to moving forward. This is also very good news to see that maybe there are new opportunities coming in, new, I'll call them proposals that are coming in for people that maybe we were worried about not having before. So new opportunities, new openness to receiving. That's the key to manifesting too. We have to be open to receive what we want. So if you guys saw the collective reading, I did the video this morning or this afternoon, whenever it was, we need to speak it into existence. We need to want it. We need to put it out there. And it's not going around telling everybody your business. It's like, I'm going to do this, or I am doing this. Speak it in the present tense, speak it into existence, and be open to receive that energy to come back to you. There's some transitions happening here, or transformations is what I want to say. So with this Death card, we need to leave that mindset behind. We need to leave the lack mindset behind and move forward and bring ourselves into this new phase, this new cycle. You know, again, we're in a new moon, so new phase. We are, you know, starting over in a sense. So when you go through a transition or transformation, sorry, I keep saying transition, but for some of you that could possibly be another transition. Death is a cycle, right? So what dies goes into the soil. It all turns into new life again. So just this continuous cycle. So when something is done and dead, it dies. So you need to leave that what is not serving you behind as well. So if that's toxic people, relationships, behaviors, habits, if that's not what you want to take with you in this new cycle, in this new mindset, then you need to leave it and let it go. So there's a lot of new transitions, beginnings, rebirths happening that's going to bring us to this point where we can finally feel stable, where we can finally feel like, yeah, you know what, I worked for it. I got where I am because I did what needed to be done in a good way, in a positive way. I persevered. I did it. I did the thing. And this will allow you to feel like you are accomplished. You are, stable and grounded in your new beginning here. And then, sorry, I was just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, so we got reading lists going. Awesome. Okay, and then we have the Queen of Swords here too, which is new clarity and honesty and truth. So this is actually living your truth and living in this clarity, and being honest with yourself and others with what you want now. You know what you want. You know what you want to do. You know where you want to go. So very much solid energy here. This is actually really cool to see. Lots of really cool energy. So yeah, we started out with this lack. This is the worry. This is the stress, the worry about finances, health, being left alone, left out of things, I should say. So like, if you're not going to any family events because of XYZ, or you can't do, the football team, XYZ, all of those things because of other circumstances, you're seeing that there's going to be this new outlook and this new beginning, I'll say again, because of this Death card here. We just have to be open to receiving and persevere and not let the lack mindset be a predominant feature in our thinking. So yeah, very cool. This is exciting. Awesome. Okay, so then we got Gina. Yeah, the Death card in this one's actually really, in a way, sweet. It looks like it should look, I feel, for like a Death card instead of just having, like a Reaper, a skeleton, or skull. okay. Right on. Gina got 3. Okay. Ooh, so we got some drive here with this Chariot. So moving forward. This is awesome. So yay. Okay, let me just see real fast. So you've been working hard towards something here. This is something that you've been trucking along and doing. Slow but steady pace, right? But this Chariot means like you're ready. You're going for it. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep pushing forward. This is also like that courage to keep moving forward, that you're going to put your faith in yourself and what you're doing and move forward. The Knight of Pentacles means it's going to happen for you. It's going to work. It's going to be beneficial for you. It just might take a little bit longer for you. It just might be something that you're not going to see the results of very quickly. But don't give up, because it's going to be in your best benefit. And then this Queen of Cups here, this is very positive energy as well. This is like, listen to your intuition. Nurture this, whatever this is that you're doing. Like anything from a side hustle, you know, this could be all of us at this point, right? But nurture this idea, this thing that you're doing, that you're working on, because it will come to fruition. You just have to be patient. You just have to wait a little bit. But listen to your gut when it comes to all of this, and nurture this and yourself. So I see you, yeah, very much moving forward, very much happy to persist and move forward with what this is. You're very driven with this idea, this situation, whatever this is, whatever this Knight of Pentacles represents. You're very driven. You're ready for it to happen. But here's the thing that happens too when we are very driven, that we want to push too hard. So that's where I think this Queen of Cups comes in too. Is like, know when to back off a little bit. Know when you're pushing too hard, and listen to your intuition, and know when to really push and when to rein it in. No pun intended. But so listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and know that it will happen, but you have to be patient. You have to let it happen and flourish in its own time. You're planting the seeds, you're watering the garden, you are making it, you know, all of the steps go in the right direction, but you don't need to push so hard to get there. Everything worth doing takes time, and everything worth coming into fruition takes patience. So yeah, you're driven, you're ready to go, you want it to happen, and you want to make it happen now. But at the same time, you know, sometimes if it's too quick, like a souffle, right? When you take it out of the oven too early, it flattens. So listen to your intuition, know when you're pushing too hard, know when you need to rein it in, and it'll happen. And also, like, you don't have to work too hard either. Like, you're doing everything in the right order. You don't have to, you know, work your butt off for it, in a sense. Like, it doesn't have to be a 24/7 thing for you, because this is also an indicator to me too, to nurture yourself and for self-care. So again, this energy is like super, like, go, 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 let's do it, let's do the thing. But these two cards are like, oh, hold it just a little bit. We're gonna get there. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's enjoy the ride a little bit. Like, I want to know exactly what we're doing and enjoy every moment of it, and then not drive myself insane and work myself to the bone to get there. I want to do it right. So that's what I'm getting here. Hopefully that makes sense, Gina. All right, Miss Bliss. Hey, Christina, nice to see you. Liz Dean is the creator. You are very welcome, Gina. And after Try's reading, we'll assess the time and figure out. So we'll cut it off for right now. And then if we're good on time, then we'll keep going. How about that? Does that sound fair? Miss Bliss. What message do we got for Miss Bliss? And if you guys want a private reading with me, if you don't know, now you do. The description box has my link tree in it, which will link you, take you to my Etsy shop where I do private readings. So I have a lot of different variety on there of what you can choose to get for your reading as well. So I think it's pretty affordable, at least in my opinion, I think. So if you want a more in-depth reading, you can do that as well. Private readings, etc., are fantastic. A little bit more intimate that way. Ooh, another Six of Wands here, Miss Bliss. Let's see. Okay, not all those cards. Let's tone it down a little bit. Okay. Okay. Here for it. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Lots of cards came out, so apparently you needed a talking to. It looks like a pep talk. This is awesome. Okay, so Six of Wands, we already know. Victory, amazingness, success. Three of Cups, celebration. And this is interesting because Three of Cups was the collective pull that I did today, so we're celebrating our victories. We're celebrating our successes. So for you, Miss Bliss, you are celebrating a lot here, and it looks like you have a lot to celebrate. So Page of Pentacles, this could be a message regarding job opportunity or an interview or something that's happening related to a job, but it's an opportunity. Something being handed to you as well with this Ace of Pentacles. So there's money coming in, and I feel like it's something that you've been manifesting for, or something that you've been working really hard to get. So I feel like there's some form of good news happening around a job interview or a job situation. All right. But either way, this is all really good news. Lots of celebration here, lots of amazingness. And then we have Knight of Wands, which is like, take that risk. Do it. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to come fast too. It's going to be like lightning fast. So if this is if you're waiting to hear back from a job or of an interview or waiting to hear if you got that promotion, you will hear soon, and it's definitely coming. So this is really exciting. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's bringing you abundance here. And this could be like just a new position altogether, or it could be just like new income coming in, new opportunities coming. But there's a message here. There's like, you're going to be told what this is. Like someone's going to verbally tell you what this is. You might be training under somebody too, since this is the page. It might be something that you have to do like some form of training for, some form of learning the position, learning the job, learning whatever this is. But it's going to be worth it, and it's going to happen all really, really fast. So that's what I see. Celebrate. And if you have been manifesting this, you've been doing it. You've been going and getting it. This is exciting for you. Yeah, they really wanted to tell you. They're like, don't freak out. Don't worry. Like, good things are happening. Good things are coming. Yay. Hey, Mystified. Yes, little Aussie sunshine. Yes, bring it. Yes. Lovely to see you. Oh, I'm glad, Ashley. Thank you. You're so sweet. All right, we got Sydney next. A little overcast. Nice. You're welcome, Miss Bliss. You are welcome. I'm like always reading the chat in weird ways. My brain just doesn't function normally. All right, so Sydney. Look, you don't need to be sassy today, okay? You really don't. They're like, you haven't used me in a year or so. Like, I want to scream out my messages. Okay. All right. Are we feeling ourselves, Sydney? We got the Queen of Wands. So this is bold, creative energy. This is like, call it the Beyonce energy. Like, you know who you are, what you want. You've got it. You are like a strong, independent woman, but you know, you could be loved too. This is awesome though. This is like feeling yourself. Like you've got this, like, you know what you are, you know who you are. And then we have the Strength card here too, which is like, you are this strong personality. And I mean that in the best way, not an abrasive personality or a strong personality, but you're also okay with being vulnerable, or maybe it's something that you need to work up into, being okay with being vulnerable and opening up. Because with the Strength card, that's very much a part of it. Like, being vulnerable is a sign of strength. It's a sign of emotional strength. And a lot of times we forget that when the Strength card comes out. We're like, oh yeah, just call on our inner strength and we're good. But sometimes we forget that vulnerability is the main reason, that we need to be okay with opening ourselves back up, that we don't close that wall off all the time. Because what's coming in here is either a new partnership of some kind. It could be a new relationship or a deepening of one with this Two of Cups. So I see you opening up more. I feel like you put on this strong facade, which you are strong. I shouldn't say facade, but like, people look at you like you have it all together. You know what I mean? And so like with this, it's like, yes, you do, but it's okay that you can break down your walls sometimes for the correct people, right? Does that make sense? So I see someone coming in, or a deepening of a relationship, depending on how this resonates with you. But I definitely see you being okay with opening up a little bit more and being a little bit vulnerable, because yes, you are a strong, independent woman and you don't need anybody. Or if you identify, whatever you identify as, this is a strong, independent energy. But it's also very okay to be vulnerable and open up and allow people in. Because sometimes things in our past, situations that we've had happen to us, close us off, or we put up walls to protect ourselves. But you won't know how good something will be if you don't let down those walls and be vulnerable. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense, and that's what I see here. But yeah, very cool. I see good things happening here. This is a harmony too. So if you're not seeing anybody, if you're not looking for a relationship, this definitely could be you feeling more in harmony with yourself and with just life in general. So it doesn't have to be you need somebody else in your life or you're going to be getting somebody. It could be like, okay, now you're learning more about yourself and you're accepting things and you're being more in tune with what those are. Oh, good. You are so welcome. Okay, Ashley. Who just got on Twitch? Hey, Maria. How are you? All right, Ashley. Oh, yeah, then yeah, it'll be deeper. It'll be more deeper. I think you guys will understand each other a lot more. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Opening up and being vulnerable, though, is going to be huge. I feel like that's the main takeaway here. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express your feelings. It's okay to ask for what you want and ask for help. Because maybe you think too, like, you're this strong person that, you know, shouldn't need to do all of those things. But yeah, I definitely see everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry. I see more of like like a deepening of that relationship. Okay. Message for Ashley. Ooh. Okay. So I don't know which one came out whatever way, but it doesn't matter. It's still going to be the same situation here. So don't freak out yet. The Ace of Swords, clarity, newfound clarity. I feel like you know exactly what you need to do and where you need to go now. Sorry. Chat, I'm so sorry. Get distracted. But yeah, the sword, Ace of Swords, clarity. You are figuring out what works for you, especially with this Justice card here. So there needs to be that balance again. The Justice card is very much like figuring out how to make things go back to equilibrium. That's the word. So also too, like karma, right? Karma is a part of Justice card. And so it's like you're finally cutting out what doesn't need to be there anymore. Cutting out the toxicity with the swords here. There's two swords. I'm getting very much like cut it out vibes. But bringing it back to like even playing field, the balance, and the truth of the matter, the heart and the truth and the honesty of it all with this Justice card. The Five of Cups still kind of, I don't want to say worries me because that's not the correct word, but that's the vibe that I'm getting. It's like there's still things that you're focusing on that we need to not be focusing on. There's still some conflict. There's still some emotions that maybe we need to work on. But whenever I see the Five of Cups, it's always like you're focusing on the things that don't really matter anymore. It's like crying over spilt milk. Like, that's not the word I want to, or the verbiage I want to use, but that kind of energy where it's like, yeah, it happened. And like, we can acknowledge it and we can accept it. But there's also 3 full cups that are sitting there behind you waiting to be focused on, like the positive. So like, I still feel like there's some things that are like the negative things that you're focusing on that maybe we need to cut out and move forward to, because the key here is this balance. Oh no, computer crashed. Oh, I'm so sorry. So yeah, the key here is this balance and cutting out what no longer works for you, because yeah, you're finding the new clarity. You're finding what you need, in order to move on and move past. But like, this is not what you should be focusing on. You should focus on cutting out the issues that no longer work for you. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So, so there's that sense of dwelling, right? So, sometimes we want so bad for one thing to happen for us, right? We want that one thing, and that's what we focus on. But the universe has other plans. And sometimes when the universe has other plans, it can hurt, it can sting. So the best way to kind of move forward, right? And I'm sure you know this, is to kind of know that universe will always have your back. There's a reason why it didn't work out. And that reason is because it wasn't going to be a good fit for you. The universe happens for you. It doesn't happen to you, right? So so when you dwell on this, you are not doing the balancing. And like, I feel like the reason why it didn't work out. Like, I know the reason why, like, you were stuck on this and it didn't work out. And I know that you know what you need to do in order to move forward. It's just like, yeah, you're stuck, you're dwelling. But this is going to allow you to see things in a new perspective, in a new way. You're going to find a new road to go down. And sometimes when things happen that we don't see it at the time as a good thing, sometimes we can feel that stuck energy and we can feel sad and focus on the negative. But we need to also realize that while we're focusing on the negative, we're not seeing all of the amazing opportunities that are wanting to be opened for us because we're focused on that. So the key here is finding a new way to look at it, a new way. Yeah. Okay. So with this Empress card, nurture what makes you feel good. Nurture the good things. Focus on the positives. And this creative energy here too, this mother nurturing energy. What's your next move? You can't think about your next move when you're stuck here focusing on the 2 glasses that are spilled. So this is how you're going to get back to it. It's focusing on what you love, what you always want to nurture, and what you want to move forward with. But yeah, I don't see you being stuck for long with this Empress energy. I feel like you will be, there's something coming. It's just a waiting game. There's something that's going to bring you back here to an even keel. I think, sorry, when the word comes to me, it's like a light bulb moment. Acceptance is what this Justice card is referring to, is acceptance. Because you're not going to be here for long. And then nurture the things that you do love and the things that you are excited about, because good things are coming. Better things are coming. Because sometimes when that door closes, it's for the best reason for you. Because if that didn't happen, you might have been stuck in a job that was toxic or that you hated, that looked good on paper and looked good on the outside. But then when you actually get inside, you're like, oh man, nope, this is not for me. And so sometimes the universe steps in and saves us from ourselves, right? And sometimes it's like that tower moment where it's like, yeah, no, we're going to collapse it all, because you moving forward with this is just detrimental for your growth, right? So look at it through that way and through that lens, and know that, oh, you're a Cancer. Yeah. I can see you being a Cancer focusing on this too. So don't fret. Things will be moving along quickly. Accept that this has happened, even though it's difficult and hard. And I'm so sorry that happened. But I don't think that was the best situation for you anyway. I think this is giving you the clarity and the new insight that you needed in order to move forward. All right. Everyone is so kind. Okay, so we got JL. By the way, guys, I don't know if you saw, we're at 15,000 subscribers. What? I still can't get over it. Y'all are amazing, by the way. So just a little shout out to all y'all. This is amazing. I can't wait to see what comes next. All right, J, JL, J. Got some very supportive energy here. Okay. King of Cups. So this is very, very supportive energy, very in touch with your emotions, your feelings, who you are at the core center. But there is the Four of Swords here. So please, my friend, make sure you're taking time out to rest, to be rejuvenated. Make sure you are, you know, getting your full sleep situation going on, because you're working really, really hard. Sorry, I'm just seeing back in chat. Yeah, all the positive vibes to Ashley. Absolutely. Yeah, Suit of Cups is coming up a lot. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I feel like we're getting in touch with our emotions a lot more here. But again, that kind of makes sense too with the new moon yesterday. Again, today is a very big, I'll call it portal energy with the 2-2-2-2. So there's a lot here that's probably building up emotionally as well. So, exam time. Okay. Okay. This is making a lot of sense. So this is also, sorry, the reflection. The glossy cards. Okay. So this makes a lot of sense now that she said that. So yeah, working really hard here with this 8 of Pentacles. Like, but this is also like a mastery skill as well. So give yourself a little bit of a break because you know the material. You know what you're doing. And also too, this is a supportive energy. So if there are people in your life that like you could do a, what's like a study thing with, like, you know, if they do, they quiz you on things, reach out to those people as well. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a lot here but see, you can't do well. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So if you don't allow yourself to get some semblance of rest, then that's even more stressors, right? So you need to make sure that you at least try. It's going to be really difficult. I understand. Believe me, I get it. But try to make sure that you are well rested, especially before you take this exam. Because again, here's that card of slow and steady wins the race. This is that tortoise in the hare energy, that tortoise. So making sure that you are, you know, doing things in a good pace for yourself. You know, you already know the material. I think you're putting way too much stress on yourself on top of the stress, right? It's already hard enough. You don't need to stress you out. I know it's hard, easier said than done. I have been in that testing situation. I completely understand. However, I have not been a single mom with that stress, so I can only imagine what you're having to deal with. So, but the universe is like, you need to get some rest, because if you don't at least try to get a little bit of rest, you're not going to be able to have that patience. You're not going to be able to be like, okay, I can sit down and remember everything. So again, I know you can't pull time out of thin air, and you can't, you know, calm things down in an instant, but promise me that you will try to take it a little bit easier. I know you can't. I know, believe me, I get it. But at the same time, like, this came out for a reason. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Try as much as you can to rest and rest your mind. Because again, sometimes when we study too hard and we go all out, then the day comes and we're like, oh fuck. I almost cussed, I'm sorry. Like, I'm blanking, right? So go easy on yourself. That's what I'm picking up here. Go easy. You know you've got this. Oh. Yeah, exactly. You've got this. You know you've got this. Don't put more stress on yourself than needed. I remember, and I know this is like nothing compared to what you're going through, but I remember when I had to take my board certification for cosmetology. And keep in mind, when you do these tests, you don't know what skill you're getting. You don't know what you're being tested on. You don't know anything. You just have to know everything and hope to God that you can do the thing that was given to you. So it's not only a practical, it's a written as well. And again, you don't know what they're going to be testing you on. You have to know everything. I remember stressing myself out so bad that I gave myself an anxiety attack. So that's what I'm trying to get out. You know that you know it. Third time's a charm, baby. You've got this. We're all going to send you positive vibes. We're all going to send you amazing energy your way so you can at least rest tonight. Try to get some try to get some energy back in your life for tomorrow, because thank you, Mystified. This is something that's important to you, but you also have to take that stress that you're putting on yourself aside. Again, completely, I get it. I know it's easier said than done, but again, came out for a reason. So just something to think about. I see success here. I see that you're going to do just fine because you have this. This is a mastery here. You're working hard. You know the material. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles here. So this is very much slow and steady pace. Be practical about it. You've got this. Yeah, we are all rooting for you. You've got it. You've got it. All right. And last on the list, we got Try. Also, too, remember what today is. Today's a fantastic day for manifesting. So set your intentions. Whatever you do to manifest, do it tonight. Helps you out 110%. So, if you burn some bay leaves, if you just write what you want in a journal or a piece of paper, burn it. Send your wants and your intentions out into the universe. Let it be known. And then that's just an extra blanket of security for you. All right. Again, completely know that these are empty words sometimes. When it's kind of like when you tell an anxious person to calm down, like it doesn't help. It's not going to make you calmer. But just knowing that Four of Swords came up, it just means that you have to pay attention to your body too, and your mind. Give your mind a break. Let it go for a minute, so that you can process. Right? It's like a computer. When you overwork it, it overheats and then it just crashes. So you want to prevent that. So just continue studying, but make sure you're giving yourself some breaks in between and some rest, so your mind can process that material and you can recall it. Yes, we love to see it. Yes, you've got this. Yes, awesome. Remember, processing time. That should be your keyword when you need a break. I need a process. All right, we got Try next. Oh, okay. Apparently that one would come out. Some bold energy there too. I'm just gonna set you aside. Okay, wow, all right. We got a lot of clarity going on today. Right on. Okay, so don't know if this card was meant for you to be read to you, but we're going to read it anyway. So King of Wands, very much the person who inspires other people. Very much that person somebody else in the room looks up to. This is the energy of I've got it all together. I know what I want. I know what I'm doing. And now I can teach you to do it too. So that's that energy. Loving what they do. This is also a creative person energy, very much driven, fire energy. So don't know if that was meant for you, but we're going to keep him here. We're going to put him aside here. We've got the Three of Wands too. So this is like, you're ready. You are strategizing, you are planning, you are putting the pieces together. You are ready to just go forward and reap the rewards. And already you are starting to see things come back to you in the reward department. So Three of Wands, making it happen. This could be like a collaboration energy too, where you're working with other people or working with other mediums, like not mediums like psychics, but like mediums as in like different, if you're doing art projects, it could be like oil, watercolor and clay, that sort of a situation. And then we have Temperance here. So very much a balance and moderation thing. So while you're doing all of this and you're making things happen and you're planning and strategizing, we need to be making sure that we're also doing things with a balance and with a moderation. So we don't do this all the time, that we're actually focusing on everything that we need. And then we have Eight of Cups. So yeah, you're moving on. So whatever this is, you're moving toward that. So moving on towards things that make you happy, things that are progressive for you. You are leaving the stuff that no longer suits you behind with this Eight of Cups. This is you knowing where you're going and what you don't want anymore. So then we have the Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hot. Sorry. Ace of Swords, very much knowing what you want, knowing the direction that you're going, the clarity. So yeah, with this Eight of Cups right next to it, very much you know what you want, you know where you're going. I see a lot of going towards what makes you happy and what's beneficial for you. But you need to make sure that there's a balance here. You need to make sure that not everything is this all the time, that you take care of yourself as well. All right, let's see. Bring that energy. Yeah. So, sorry, I just want to see if I'm missing something here too. There's something else that I'm not seeing. And it's like glaringly obvious. Yeah, believe and then let go. Let the universe make it happen. Mm-hmm. Been getting my act together. Left a job. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then... Okay. So this is, yeah, this is you starting over, knowing what you want, doing all the things. But yeah, okay. So your focus has been all on this. So the moderation here steps in, the balance. Lead by example as well. So like, I feel like, hey, it's a cloud, welcome. I feel like there's people that see what you're doing and feel like that's inspiring too. Yeah, okay, so I do feel like you're definitely, like people are watching what you're doing with this King of Wands energy. I think that's why it came out. So like, and it's not a bad thing that they're watching. I feel like they're very much inspired to see you doing what you need to do and you doing the thing. But yeah, very much this is the biggest thing that I'm picking up out of the whole lot. Like this keeps staring me in the face. So you can't be focused on this all the time, if that makes sense. Like gung-ho, yes. Be excited, yes. Work hard, yes. But also know that there is that work-life balance. And so you left a situation that wasn't good for you. So don't let this be the same situation, right? So do what you got to do, but also do it with the knowledge that you had from your past experience. All right, Ashley, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Good luck. You won't need it because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fine. But sending you all the good vibes, all the love. Thank you, and have a good night. Okay, get some sleep. Okay, so Alette, yes, I'll do you, and then in Twitch, it's a cloud. Yes, I will. So it's a cloud. You'll be after Alette here, and then that's it. I'm cutting everybody off because I gotta go check on the babies. Here I was. Oh, I don't want to be on here another hour, and I just passed it. Oh, I never should say the things. Balance is always going to be a struggle for everybody. And it's always going to be that work-life balance, school-life balance, whatever your situation may be. It's always hard to find that moderation of one or the other because that drive is there and that determination is there. And that want to just keep pushing and success and all of that. But at the same time, I say it every single reading, you can't give from an empty cup. So if you don't refill your battery, nobody else will. And you can't go on an empty battery. So make sure that you take time. Unfortunately, our society is very much like if you're not pushing forward and pushing through, then you aren't successful, and that needs to stop. But that's besides the point. But that's the pressures of society, right? So you're human, plain and simple. You're human. So, you're not the Energizer Bunny. You need to make sure that it's okay to put yourself first sometimes, right? It's okay to put self-care first sometimes, to rest. All right. So just remember that, just balance, listen to your body. Okay. Again, I am the worst person to give that advice, but give it I shall. Oh, we got a Queen of Pentacles. Love it. Okay. Well. All right. Queen of Pentacles is fantastic to see. Again, I'm going to say it. Self-care time. I don't know what order these cards are going to be in, but I'm just going to go with the intuition here. So Queen of Pentacles, very much self-care time, very much focusing on you, nurturing yourself, grounding energy. Again, generosity, but generosity towards the self too. And then Sun card, everything will work out. Because we have this Five of Swords here, which is a conflict. So it also could be a conflict of your thoughts, like a negative thought process. Because if you're not devoting much time to yourself, it could be, the what we were talking about earlier, like the self-deprecation or the words I'm trying to say, but I can't make happen. But some form of conflict of the mind, not feeling good enough, not feeling appreciated, not feeling like you've got the thing, that you're doing it right. All of those thought processes, right? But the Knight of Swords says, like, you've got it. You're moving forward. You're doing the thing. You're charging forward. And you've got that focus, that drive, that you're driven to be focused on all of these good things. And then what is this? Yeah, it's the Nine of Cups. So wish fulfillment. All good things are coming. So what I want you to do is knock this off, because that doesn't need to be here, right? Again, you're human. We all do it. We all have those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts, right? But the thing of it is you're focused on the things that matter, and that's bringing you all of these successes. So once we get rid of this and we focus on the good and we focus on the positive, all of these things are going to start falling into place. All of these things are going to start happening, and quick. Knight of Swords is quick. Okay. So focusing on the good, focusing on all of the fantastic things that are already in your life, focusing on the relationships, the people, the environment that you're in, that are, all of those good things are going to bring you all of these amazing things. But also too, like, focus on yourself. It's okay to focus on yourself. It's okay to be generous with yourself, right? We don't need to always think in the negative. We don't always need to put ourselves down. This doesn't need to be here. Like, we need to knock it off, because it's only going to bring more intrusive thoughts or negativity. And if these are people gossiping, if these are people talking smack behind your back, get rid of them. You don't need them. They're not real friends. So I'm just getting a lot of like talk. That's what I'm seeing here. And it's all like superfluous. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's all stuff that like I keep seeing like swatting away, like just batting them away like a cat, just bat them away, because it like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. Like, it doesn't need to be here. Like, you don't need to listen to it, because it's not true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what these people say. It doesn't matter what you think, in the negative sense, right? Because at the end of the day, if you focus on the positive, if you focus on what you want to get out of life and your wishes and the positive ones, the positive thoughts, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. You have this sun here, which is happiness, health, vitality, all of this amazingness. And then again, yeah, wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups. This is like, what do you want to manifest? Because you can get it if you focus on that, right? I haven't had any time for myself, and I've been so much that I want to accomplish. You know what? And that's okay. So I also want you to know too, like, so specifically, Alec, if you are having a rough time, so like if you're sick, if you are emotionally just not in a good space, not in a good headspace, it's going to be hard to read for yourself. It's going to be very hard to, pull out those messages, because those emotions are going to fight with your intuition in a way, if that makes sense. So like when you're sick and you're not getting anything clearly, it's okay to step back and step away from it. And it's not going to be, a negative thing for you. It's okay to not touch the cards when you're having a hard time. Like, don't think any less of yourself that you lost your gift or anything like that. Like, I feel like that needs to be said, because you didn't. It's just sometimes mentally we can't process all of this. Again, with the processing, right? You just can't. If you're so stressed out, having mentally hard time, like, it's going to be hard to read tarot. It's going to be hard. That's why when I was sick with the panini, I didn't come in my office at all. I didn't flip and touch any cards for reading, because I knew that I wasn't in a good headspace for it. So I'm happy to be able to do this for you, because yeah, absolutely. But yeah, try to find snippets of your day where you can just be like, you know what? If you need to go into the bathroom and sit for 5 minutes to pretend, that you're out of order for a minute, just to get some peace, do that. Sometimes all it takes is just sitting down for 5 seconds, mindlessly scrolling on your phone to feel a little bit better. But do something for you. I want that to be your goal for the rest of the week. Make sure out of the day, 1 minute out of your time, whatever it is, the rest of the week, And this goes for everybody. Do something for yourself. How small, doesn't matter. Even if it's just sitting in your bathroom for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, doing nothing. If you buy yourself a treat at the mall, or not at the mall, like the grocery store is what I was thinking of, a lollipop, whatever it may be. Do something special for yourself, because that's self-care. That's putting time in for you, making an effort for you. Because regardless of what you think or what other people who don't matter think, you are worth it. You are valuable. You are valid. And by putting yourself first, it's not a selfish act. In fact, it's the most selfless act, because you are putting time in for you in order to give for others. So all you moms out there, all you dads out there, all you people who caretake, all of you people that other people or animals rely on, if you don't put yourself first just a little bit, you cannot give to others. So just keep that in mind. Do something, a little something for yourself every day. It will switch your negative thought patterns over, I swear. And then too, if you're having intrusive thoughts, there's, be conscious of them. And then talk back to yourself. Who cares? Talk back to them saying, nope, I'm going to switch it over. I feel empowered today because of this. Put on your favorite outfit. I don't care if you're not going out that day. Put it on. Put on something that makes you feel powerful, something that makes you feel safe, something that makes you feel like you can take on the world. Because again, any of those things are acts of self-care and putting yourself first in your own mindset, okay? So don't worry about this Five of Swords. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. I feel like it's just something that you can bat away, something that it has no value whatsoever to you. It's a nuisance of anything, right? So do some self-care acts, put yourself first a little bit, but also know that you're working towards manifesting what you want. Everything will be okay. You got that Sun card. That trumps everything else. Know that everything will be okay. And everything will be okay if you stop for 5 minutes and breathe. All right? The world isn't going to crumble down any more than it already is because you decided to breathe for 5 minutes. All right. And then there was one more on Twitch. It's a cloud. It's a cloud? Liza Cloud. If you're still there, I'm going to give you a reading. I can't read your screen name apparently correctly. You are so welcome. You have a wonderful night. I hope that makes sense, hun. Yeah, sometimes reading for yourself is a double-edged sword because you want to see only the good parts, right? And sometimes it's really hard holding a mirror up to yourself. And then too, if you've had a rough week, a rough day, it only makes it worse. You really want those good cards. I've done the whole thing where okay, I get a bad card. Let me see if it really is meant for me. I put it back in the deck and I shuffle it in and then it still comes out. So I'm okay. So yeah, it's hard for me to read for myself too, but I feel like if you're in a really good headspace for it, it's worth it. At least getting one card for your day and then seeing how you feel. But yeah, if I'm feeling emotionally drained or worried or any of that stuff, I typically don't like to read for myself just because I'm I don't want to look at the bad, or not necessarily bad, but I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to continuously struggle, right? So yeah, I can see where it can be hard to read for yourself. Cause yeah, it can be. Gosh darn it with the dang lights. Whatever. Okay, so I'm just gonna call you Cloud. Lias Cloud. So we have the Emperor. So this is like very strong energy, very masculine energy, but in the way of like not like gender. This is leading, planning, strategizing, law and order energy. And then we have the Fool, which is very interesting to see the two side by side here. So the Fool is all about new beginnings, jumping in, taking a leap of faith, doing something new, doing something fresh, innocence, that sort of feeling. And then we have the Strength, which we talked about earlier, vulnerability, inner strength. So I feel like this is all about like you're ready for this new change, this new beginning. What this is, I'm not quite sure, but I feel like there's been some planning behind it. I feel like you've been studying what you need to study, doing what you need to do, planning it out, but you need to also be receptive and open and being a little vulnerable to get through it too. You might have to rely a little bit more on the inner strength and the vulnerability to get through, but it's going to be really good for you. It's going to be very good for you. It's going to feel very fresh and new. But I feel like you've been ready. It's something that you've been like ready for a long time. There's a lot of planning that went behind this. Like, it's not just like oh, I'm going to do this today. Like, I'm going to just try this thing. It's been like something that you have been researching, you have been strategizing, you have been putting in the work and effort to make sure you know the ins and outs of everything. Because with this Emperor, this is somebody who leads armies. This is someone who builds a nation. This is somebody who has to know the inner workings of his community in order to lead by example and lead the community. So I do feel like this is something that you have been working toward and planning. It's not something that just happened and you're like, okay, cool. But definitely is something new, something fresh, something that's starting for you. But you will have to rely on other things that aren't just the planning. It's opening yourself up, being more receptive. It's allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable about not knowing everything right away, because again, this is new. Just because you've planned it out doesn't mean you know everything about it, right? So there's going to be some learning curves that you need to be open to being a part of with whatever this is. So like, for instance, if this is you going into university and it's your first time going into university, you can plan out your classes, you can plan out your dorm situation or your living situation, you can plan out your meals, all of these things, who your roommate's going to be, or if you even have one. But when it comes down to it, you can only be prepared so much for this new situation being in university. So you have to be open to being a little bit vulnerable and knowing that you can learn from that as well. So hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that resonated. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Something new is coming for you, and that you're going to be able to take charge and be all about it. But also, like, it's that divine masculine and divine feminine, what I'm getting. Very much a drive and surrender. So moving forward and being gung-ho about it and being excited, but at the same time letting it happen and just enjoying it, taking a step back and being like, okay, yeah, I can do this. I can be open to criticism. I can be open to learning new things. I can be open to new friendships and relationships. I can be a little bit vulnerable with opening up to other people and new situations. But I know that I'm still fierce as a lion. I'm still compassionate. I'm still, all of these wonderful, amazing things. But yeah, very much I'm getting the duality of it. That, yeah, very much the drive and receive. Very much. So hopefully that made sense and resonated with you. I think it's going to be a very good thing. Very awesome thing. Very fun to have that full energy sometimes. So, awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, it is still live. You just got it? You got the job, Richard? cool. Congratulations. Oh, wow. Yay. That's so cool. You start next week. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. So now that we've worked with the deck, what do you guys think about it now? Is it something that you would still want to look into, or you're like, no, it's a hard pass? Yeah, that's so awesome. Oh, they are lucky to have you. Oh, that's so amazing. I cannot wait for you to snuggie with them. Cats are beautiful creatures. I love them so much. Feline energy. Yeah, it is Pip. Yeah, it's Pip. It makes it a little bit difficult for most people starting out to read. I still don't prefer Pip decks just because it's like I like to have the images that go in, because sometimes I get even deeper hits from them. But yeah. Okay. Oh, yay. I'm glad, Rowan. I mean, there is always going to have such a special place in my heart just because it was my first deck. But, like, would I pick it up over all the other ones? No. I hate to say it, but no. It hurts my heart that I say that. Oh, the Alice in Wonderland. Is that the one by Barbara Moore? Because I know that there's a couple Alice in Wonderland decks, which makes complete sense. But yeah, I think there's a Barbara Moore one that I was intrigued by. They have a Maine Coon? Oh my heart. Oh my gosh. British short hair. Oh my god. Scoop and poop. That's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. Maine Coons are huge and they're fluff balls and I love them. Oh, thanks, Try. Yeah, it's it's been a few years working with this, but it was really interesting working with it again because, like I said, I haven't picked it up in years. Well, I think since 2018 or 19, around there. So it's been a while, and I just happened to think yesterday when I was doing a poll, I looked over and I was like, we haven't done a dive into this deck yet. I wonder. So, yeah, it was interesting working with it again, and the feelings of working with it again were fun. Just a lot of the rememberings of how it felt to work with it when I first got it. You have the one by Minerva Siegel already? Oh, wow. Well, that's lucky. Yeah, I'm still waiting for mine. It keeps getting pushed back. So I just assumed that it was pushed back for everyone. That's cool, though. I bet it's beautiful. The artwork reminds me of the like 50s style. What's that? It'll come to me. Not mid-century, because that's furniture. But maybe it is mid-century. That art style. in the 50s where everything was like painted and like pop of color here and there. I really like that style. The Disneyland Hotel back in the day, I don't know if it's still, I don't think they still do it, but they had like coasters with that kind of pop art on it, and they would do like posters and advertisements with it in the rooms. And so yeah, just it makes me feel nostalgic. I'm a Disney nut. I'm a Disney freak. Barnes and Noble. Cheeky. All right. Well, that's the last time I pre-order from Amazon. No. Oh, well, that's awesome though. Good for you. I'm glad that you like it. That gives me hope. I mean, let's be honest. It's really hard not to like anything she does. She puts out, like, she's like the resident pop culture tarot deck person now, which is awesome. I'm really excited to see what else she does. I can't wait. Like I mentioned earlier, like the horror tarot that she's putting out. I'm not a big horror movie fan per se, but like it looks fun, and I think it would be great for Halloween season. So this past Halloween, I just watched Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time. So we didn't get a chance to do Halloween, but I'm not big on horror per se. Like I love the campy kind of horror, like Edward Scissorhands, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, it wouldn't be a deck that I would have like purchased on a, like, if it were going to be my only deck to work with, but I think it would be fun for specific readings, and I think it might be really cool for shadow work. It smells great. Oh my god, I would love a craft tarot deck. I would love one of those. We Are the Weirdos. It's one of the best, like, culty kind of movies. Like, I shouldn't say it that way, but you know what I mean? Like the pop cult kind of movie. But yeah, it would be really cool to have a more, like more options when it comes to pop culture in tarot. I think that would be really cool if, like, I think more people are loosening up with their licensing for that kind of situation because they're seeing how big this community is getting and the interest in it. So that's fantastic. But at the same time, we always have to be very wary and critical of what comes out, because if it's a cash grab, then it just defeats the whole purpose. So it's important that we do videos of reviewing them and stuff like that, so that way they're not taking advantage of people that don't know any better or taking advantage of a cash grab, right? So we always have to be careful about who we put our trust in. It seems like Minerva has a fantastic connection with her publisher and the way that the licensing is going for her. So like, that's a person we can put our trust into, is what I'm trying to say. But there's caveats to that. There's the opposite, like the Cosmo Tarot, the deck that shall not be named, where it looks like a just blatant cash grab and it's a total slap in the face. So it's important that we, when it is a pop culture deck, that we analyze it and we critique it in a good way, to where, like, we want to see more of those decks, but we want also that the art of tarot to be respected, right? It's not just like slap a picture on and then call it good and it's going to sell a lot because it's, the craft tarot, or it's, Freddy. It's going to be beneficial to the community, is what I'm trying to say. So I would love more pop culture decks. I'm excited about the Marvel Avenger Oracle coming out, I think in May. So there's a lot that are coming down the pike, and I'm really excited about that. But at the same time, if it's not Minerva, because I know she's got a handle on it, if it's somebody new and fresh, we have to make sure that it is for the good of the community and not a blatant cash grab because people want to see their favorite character on the deck, right? No Nightmare on Elm Street for you? You know what? I thought I was going to be grossed out and I thought I was going to be terrified. And neither were those things. Because the way that it was filmed in the early 80s. So the special effects are great, but they're not like super realistic to where you would be like, okay, that's actually happening. You know what I mean? Like, I guess there's a disconnect there in my brain to where I'm like, I know those are special effects, so we're good. It's more suspenseful than terrifying. And I am for the suspenseful movies. Like, what was the movie that Daniel Radcliffe did? The Black House of Black, or I don't know. It was a very suspenseful movie, very good movie. It was like soon after his Harry Potter days. The Woman in Black. I think that's what it was called. Very good. And like I said, I like suspenseful. I like somewhat scary, but like if it's gonna give me nightmares, I'm not watching it. If it's got demons and stuff like that in it, I'm not watching it. I hate jump scares. I hate all that stuff. Like, I'm a big baby. I think with the horror tarot, I think it's gonna be more like the characters. I don't know though. I can't say because I haven't seen any pictures. But like, yeah, that's a good point. What is a cash grab tarot deck in your definition? I'm curious. Okay, so the Cosmo Tarot. That's a cash grab. That is, I don't care the quality of the deck. I don't care what I slap on as a picture. And I don't care if it matches up with the meanings. And the book in and of itself was like reading like a horoscope. So it was like no help whatsoever to anybody who reads tarot. I don't care what level you were at. It was like there was no thought put into it. So that's what I mean by cash grab. So like if you're taking pictures, for instance, let's say that someone wants to do a Disney deck, right? Because I know Disney back of my hand. And they decide that they're just going to put whatever image, because they got the licensing from Disney, they're going to just do whatever character for the major arcana, right? So they have Moana as Judgment. That might not make sense. Mickey Mouse is nowhere to be seen on the deck, but he's like the Page of Cups. I don't know. Just randomizing the characters to fit whatever card, not putting much thought or effort into why they would pick that character, you know? Like, just, there's a random character, I can't even think right now, my mind's not working, but hopefully that you're getting what I'm putting down, like, not putting any thought or effort into who's on the card or what images you put on the card. And then in the guidebook itself, if you even have a guidebook, just putting the like basic bare minimum, which it's your prerogative, it's your right. But like when the quality's down, when the substance isn't substance, and when the book is just that's a cash grab. And then you're going to charge $30 for it. No, thank you. So that's what I mean. Like, the people that actually put love and care and effort into what they produce for the community is what I'm looking for. Like, that's why we as a community, like, I don't care if you're subscribed to this channel or not. If you read tarot or do any form of divination, you should care about the tools that are put into your community. So it doesn't matter if you, like, this goes for any job, right? If you are a construction worker, if they're putting out, you know, $30 hammers that fall apart or not structured right, and then that's a disrespect to your job and to your work. So same with us. If they're just throwing out items just to throw it out because they have the licensing or the means to do so, that's a slap in the face and a cash grab. So there needs to be as a community, we need to be, all in on supporting actual authors and artists who put back into the community, who actually want to help the community thrive and grow. Because at the end of the day, this deck is a tool for you. So whether you read for yourself or read for other people, free or charging, this is a tool for you to use. And so that's why it's important that if you're putting something out into this community, that it is beneficial. And especially now, as far as cash grab goes, there's a lot of newbies here. There's a lot of people who don't know any better. So they're going to look at, a licensed deck, let's say the Cosmo Tarot, because that's the one that we are holding up as the disgrace. Stop it. So there's that name brand, right? Cosmopolitan. People know that as the magazine. People know that as the website. They know that they can get their horoscopes and all of that. If they're a teenager and in their 20s, they know that name. So if they're into tarot, what are they going to do? Are they going to pick that one over this one? I think so, because they recognize the name and it's hip and it's cool and it's like geared toward, new people, right? It says it's a beginner friendly deck. And then they open it up and they're like, what is this? I can't work with it. That's a cash grab, because your name has power. Your name has is recognizable and has a weight behind it, versus an author that maybe a new person doesn't know. Liz Dean, that's not somebody that's well known other than the tarot community, right? So who's the new person going to pick out of the two? They're going to pick the one that they recognize because they don't know any better. So that's what I'm saying. There's the integrity part that needs to go along with it. Don't put out a deck that's going to be detrimental to the growth and the learning of somebody new that knows no better. Don't put out something that is shite, right? And going to be hard for somebody who may not have a lot of money to spend on something like that, but they're putting their trust and their faith in it behind a name or a licensed imagery, right? So that's my rant. So that's the difference between a cash grab. And look, not everybody's going to like the same deck. That's why we do these videos. Not everybody's going to feel the same way. But at the end of the day, most of the decks that we do on this channel, and I say most, have that integrity behind them. They have that weight of knowledge, and they have that experience behind them in the guidebook, in the imagery, in the quality of the deck as a whole. They put that behind it. So yeah, there's weight to that and there's value in that. But the cash grab part comes when none of that is existent. None of that matters, and it's just blatantly put out because we can do it, and that's all, right? Ooh, Scarlet Witch Tarot would be fun. I love the Dark Mansion in the Dark Wood. Oh my god, there's a Meryl Streep tarot. I was just in Barnes & Noble yesterday, actually, because I got out of the house for the first time in ever. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble, see what they have. Nothing that I didn't have, right? Shameful for myself to go in there and see all of the decks that they had available, and I'm like, I don't need any of them. Oh geez. Okay, now I gotta write Meryl Streep tarot down. So okay, don't worry, I'll put it on here, because she's an icon and she needs to be praised. Yeah, Joan, that's exactly it. It's like, do you even... And there's basic, we can do basic decks and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, oh my God, do you really think that card means what you think it means? You know what? Rightfully so, Liberius. Absolutely, rightfully so. You know, and the more I thought about it, because I did feel bad about, like, just trashing it. And I didn't really trash it in any video, really. I mean, I was honest. And, you know, that's all you can do in my position is be honest. And you should be honest. But at the same time, I always feel bad because I always think about, like, okay, what if that was my deck that I put out? What if someone was saying that about my creation and what I put hours of work into? Like, I would hate that someone felt that way about my deck and just tore it to pieces because maybe they didn't understand where I was going with it. Maybe they didn't understand my thought process behind it. Maybe they just, you know, don't get the vibe of it or don't get the meaning that I wanted to put behind it. So I always think, and I try to put myself in other people's shoes constantly because, again, at the end of the day, we're all human. And then the more I thought about it and the more I was like, there wasn't really any thought process behind this at all. There wasn't any love behind it at all. If there was, I have no evidence of it. I can't see it. So then I was like really frustrated because it feels like a slap in the face. Like, it's just, I have never felt so disappointed. Like, I've never felt so just, why? You know what I mean? So now I don't feel so bad because, again, I wasn't the only one with that opinion and I wasn't the only one thinking those things. So that in and of itself made me feel validated because, you know, I wasn't trashing. But sometimes, man, it makes you want to trash it. I have not touched it since I did the disappointing deck video, and I'm not going to. But I'm going to keep it on my shelf as a reminder of what not to do, of what not to put your community through. Like, never again. Like, that is a reminder every day of, like, how awful somebody can produce, I guess. All right, Rowan, thank you so much. I'm going to go too. I have used a circular deck, but the only one I have two, and they're Oracle decks. Good luck, Rowan. You are so welcome, Jay. Yay, I'm so glad. Good night. Oh, probably. Yeah, Whitnell. Yeah, it's it's the Cosmopolitan one. Yeah, absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. All right, everyone. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for, oh my God, almost 3 hours. What? What? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. And double check your notifications too if you are already subscribed, because we have people that aren't seeing the notifications. So do yourself a favor and preemptively check. That way you guys will always know when I'm live, when I post a video, or I post in the community tab. You'll always get alerted. And so thank you guys for hanging out with me. I know, 3 hours. Insane. I'm going to try to be more, go live. I keep saying this, I know, but I'm trying to figure out schedules and stuff within my own household, of different days and different times of just doing readings, just straight up readings. So if you ever see me live on a day that's not Wednesday or Saturday, that's what we're doing. And don't forget to check out my Linktree. My Etsy shop is in there where I do private readings, as well as all my other social medias. And yeah, oh my gosh, my stomach's starting to growl. I need to eat. So with that being said, thank you guys again so much. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Manifest away tonight. It's a fantastic day to do so. Thank you all again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.